Okay, so I added the cement dye, mixed it with one 60-pound bag of cement, mixed it in the wheelbarrow, poured it into the form. The form took just about exactly the 60-pound bag of cement. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. So the instructions say to remove the form, the mold, promptly. My concern is if I remove it promptly, the cement is just going to not maintain its individual stone form, so I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. Wiggle it a little. Wiggle it a little. Perfect. Now with the molding that's poured right now, I left one of the corner pieces empty because I'm going to have to turn this walkway a little bit. And you'll see what I'm going to do in order to do that. There's a couple of ways that it can be done, but I want to try and keep the cobblestones the same shapes throughout. Also, it's a good idea to rinse off the molding periodically because the cement builds up. I just mix up the cement in the wheelbarrow and dump it into the mold. Although the manufacturer recommends that you shovel it in, I find this to be more efficient. Okay, so I ran out of cement after 10 bags, 10 60-pound bags, that's 600 pounds. So I'll go to the hardware store tomorrow. I estimate I need 8 more bags, so I'm over halfway done. And now's probably a good time to break anyway. The Bruins are playing the Canucks in Game 2. I'll check in tomorrow. Okay, I'm back on the job. Got a late start because I had to install a zip line. It's about 4 in the afternoon and I just filled my first mold of the day. And now it's time for the third mold pour of the day. Okay, so I'm finishing up my last mold of the day and then I'm going to call it quits for today. I hope to get 8 bags done today. I got 4 done and I have a little bit of mix left over, so I think what I'm going to do is just fill that little diamond shaped hole there with the final mix I have in the wheelbarrow. And I don't know when we'll pick it up again, but I'll keep you posted. Okay, so this is day 3 of the project. I spent about an hour working on this after I got home from work tonight. The far left-hand moldings were put in there. There's 2 molds worth, 2 on the far left, and I'm in the process of putting in what may be the final molds here. The kids, unbeknownst to me, put their handprints in some of the rocks. That should be okay. And I had a little mishap over here with one of the cobblestones after I ran the wheelbarrow over it before it dried. So I'm going to touch that up in a minute. And over here I'm putting in just enough cobblestones to make that corner seem like it's about the right radius. Okay, so I just removed the 2 molds that were there a second ago, and I touched up that one cobblestone that I ran over with the wheelbarrow, so it's looking pretty good, I think. And I got to figure out what I'm going to put in the cracks. I don't know whether to put sand in there or some kind of mortar or what. I also have to think about what to do for the edging. But right now I'm going to watch Game 3 of the Stanley Cup, Bruins versus the Canucks. Okay, so I've laid the final cobblestones. I took a few days off, and I'm pleased to report the Bruins beat the Vancouver Canucks in the Stanley Cup Finals. I poured a few extra cobblestones too, but I don't think I'm going to need those. I was worried at first about how I was going to make the turn, but I think it's come out pretty well, and now it's time for me to start putting down the forms on the side 2 inches high. So I'm going to pour some concrete, and I'm going to put sand within the cracks between the cobblestones. It's a special sand. Okay, so today is Saturday, June 18th. This morning was the Bruins Stanley Cup victory party in Boston after their defeat over the Vancouver Canucks this week. What a sweet victory. In regards to my Cobblestone Walkway project, what I've done now is I have put the forms around the perimeter of the walkway for the cement, which I figured I need something around this. I'm going to be putting gravel on either side. I could have dug a hole, I suppose, and recessed the cobblestone. Didn't do that. I tried to find some cement reinforcement to make the cement stronger at the hardware store. They didn't have anything. Also, I'm told if you add Portland cement, that can make the cement stronger. I'm not going to be adding any of that because I don't have any. But what I do have is I have the cement ready to go, because once I start mixing and pouring, I want to do the whole thing. Now, one dilemma that I had to contend with is the cracks along the perimeter. So the cement did not get into the cracks. I used aluminum foil. I thought about using clay or foam, but the aluminum foil went in easy. I didn't get this information anywhere online or from any experts, so the thing about projects like this is oftentimes you encounter situations that you cannot find solutions to on the manufacturer's instructions or on the internet, so you wing it. So I have everything staked out here. There is the one cobblestone piece right there that I manually inserted. I made a few extra pieces, and I broke one up into pieces, and that's the little piece there. So the reason why I did that is so there wasn't a big piece of cement along the perimeter of the walkway. So now I have the cement all ready to go. Time to start pouring. Okay, so I just finished pouring the concrete. It took just under 4 bags of 60-pound croquette concrete mix. The aluminum foil seemed to do its trick, so I'm generally pleased with the way things came out. There's some water around right now because I splashed some of the regular cement onto the cobblestone, so I had to wash it off. So I dyed the cobblestone charcoal. The cement around the perimeter I left natural. So after this cement dries, the next step is to add the sand into the crevices. Okay, so the cement is dried overnight. Now it's time to remove the forms. So I have 2 piles of gravel in my driveway. The first pile is the brown pile, which is the wrong color. It was delivered on Wednesday. The gray pile is the correct color that was delivered on Thursday. The good news is they didn't charge me for bringing the correct color, so now I have 2 piles of crushed stone. I guess I'll spread the brown stuff alongside the driveway. Okay, so it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and my project is essentially completed. As you can see from the remaining pile of gravel in the driveway, I have moved and spread all of the gray gravel. Turns out that I actually have more gray gravel than I needed to, so I spread that elsewhere. When you look at the gravel now, it looks like there's two colors, and that's only because some of it is wet. We got some rain yesterday. And here's the wheelbarrow that I bought at Home Depot to spread the gravel. That worked out really well, that style wheelbarrow. So here is the final outcome. And I really started this because the stone wall in the background is new, and I felt the stone wall, well, I needed a new walkway. And one thing led to another, like it sometimes does. And this is the final project. So this project took about 3 weeks. Materials, including the stones, the gravel, was about $300, and I figure I put in about 20 hours of my own labor. But I'm relatively pleased with the results. Anyway, take care. Signing off.